Hey brother, Stuart Matola here. Hope you're having a kick-ass day. I'm coming to you outside of Asheville, North Carolina. I'm traveling and coaching. It's been a blast. Now I want to talk to you in this video about a voice that may live inside of you, so you decide. Do you find yourself saying at times, I want to fix my marriage, but I do nothing about it? If that's you, I'm going to give you 2 conditions as to why you stay in that situation and a powerful tool to help you get out of that, so that you can be in a place to be like, fuck yeah, I want to change my marriage. I want to make things better, and to do it in a way that's a win-win for you and your wife. Up front, please like or follow me on this platform. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to the lower right and click that little bell to get weekly notifications as I go live on these videos. Now, the first condition that I see with guys who are doing nothing about their marriage, even though they want to make a change, is consciously or unconsciously, they've chosen safety over aliveness, safety over vibrancy. Maybe you've tried to make some changes in your marriage, you spoke up about challenges, you've tried to have conversations, you've gone to couples therapy, and it just hasn't changed anything. In fact, maybe you've even had the experience that it's made things worse. And so you're doing this cost-benefit analysis and you're like, yeah, I'm just going to hang out. As long as things are not blowing up every Tuesday and Sunday, it's okay. I can just chill here. But if you're watching this, I'm guessing that no, things are not just cool, that you're wanting more, that it's not enough for things to be fluid, or things are just not fluid and you want to figure out a better way of how to make your marriage work. So when you've tried a bunch of different things to fix your marriage, it's easy to have objections. It's easy to get cynical. It's easy to be like, oh, what the hell's that? Why would I bother to do that? You know, that other thing or that thing you heard about on a podcast or you read about in a book. And, you know, and then sometimes it's just like, yeah, I wish she was in my head and I could just take this information and plant it in her head. And if that was in her head and then, you know, it's in mine, now we could line up. Well, that's fantasy thinking. So what happens when you over-prioritize safety, you get into a space where it's very easy to fantasize. And so what I just described was a fantasy. And I heard it said once that the difference between fantasy and reality is hard work. But I get it, brother. Maybe you've done some hard work before and you're like, yeah, I didn't see the benefits of that. Who the hell wants to do hard work and not have a sense that's going to really pay off? And since I work with men, I have a clear understanding that guys really need a sense of progress. They need a sense of milestones. They really need some confidence that the work they put in to their relationship is going to pay off. So I want to shift how you think about the way you're going to work on your relationship, because I notice a lot of guys, they think about it as this thing outside of themselves. Like, oh, we got to fix the marriage. We got to make it better. But I want to ask you, back to this safety piece. Do you rely on your sense of safety based on your sense of the safety of your marriage? Because if you do, of course, it's going to seem like a shit show if your marriage is in a bad place. So I want to shift you into putting the onus of the burden of that safety that you typically offload onto the marriage and the lack of it back onto yourself. So this is a place of self-responsibility where you're responsible for your own safety. And instead of thinking the marriage has to get fixed so that you can be okay, I want to just streamline you directly to your okayness through you. Okay? And that's going to relate to this tool I'm going to give you. And so once you're self-responsible for your safety, it's not like you're trying to, hinge it on this other entity out there that honestly, chances are you don't feel like you have any control over. But what you do have control over is yourself. And so the reframe here is you're responsible for your own safety. And then once you have that, you're able to bring that to your marriage in a powerful way. And so this reframe gives you a much better sense that you're going to make progress. You're going to have benefits to doing the hard work on your marriage. But it starts with you, brother. Okay? It's not just on this third entity of the marriage. It's not just on her. And it's in that place that change will happen because nothing happens in the safe zone. Okay? Growth doesn't happen. Creating the marriage you want doesn't happen in the safe zone. And so this takes me to another point of knowing the difference between discomfort and danger. And as you start to filter that and say, hey, I can deal with discomfort. Danger, I have to be a little bit more careful about, But again, this brings the lens back to you. It's not all on her. It's on you, brother. And so when you've increased your confidence, your inner authority, you are in a much better place to take on discomfort and even approach danger and know the difference. So the second condition I want to talk to you about that keeps you stuck in a place of doing nothing about your marriage, it's derivative off of safety. And it's one of the dangers when we're over-relying on safety and we don't have a healthy balance of safety and aliveness. Okay? And that second condition is resignation. You end up in a place where you're just like, I referred to it earlier, why even bother? Nothing's going to change this. She is how she is. Okay? But it's so common, again, just look at that language. It's so common to say, she is how she is. Well, the truth is, you are how you are. And it's you that you ultimately have power and the ability to change. So if resignation has you going through your days in such a way where you're semi-depressed, you're just like, oh man, what's the point? It can feel like trying to roll a giant boulder up a hill, and it can feel hopeless. And that's no way to live, brother. I want better for you. And a lot of guys watching this, and a lot of guys I work with, they're approaching midlife, second half of life. And it's a scary lens to go into that part of your life feeling resigned and hopeless. You got to change that shit. And I'm here to tell you it's completely possible. I've done it myself, and I do that for my clients. And I love what Carl Jung said that relates to this. In the first half of life, we ask ourselves, what is the world asking of us? In the second half of life, we ask ourselves, what is our soul asking of us? And if you're resigned and hopeless, your soul feels that. Your soul is rebelling against that. And if you're really listening to that part of you, you can't go on like that. You got to rock the boat. But it comes down to you. So here's the one tool that I want to give you. It's going to help you with safety and resignation. And it's the biggest thing that I see in the men that I help with their marriages. And it's the willingness to face the fear of the unknown. The unknown of if your marriage is going to continue to work. The unknown of, if your family's going to stay together. The unknown of if you can continue to go on like this in resignation or hopelessness. The unknown of how that would impact your health. Now I want to say that's no small order to take that on. But once you start focusing on yourself and you start looking under some of those rocks that are unturned, such as, oh shit, yeah, I really do choose safety over aliveness. I'm like, oh crap, I really am resigned. I didn't even really know it. I just thought I had depression, and I started taking, antidepressants, and I thought that would fix it. But it was really me choosing resignation. So how do you take on the fear of the unknown? You come back to yourself. You stop projecting everything onto your marriage, onto your wife, your lack of safety, your lack of aliveness. That's on you, brother. And that's step one on the journey. That's admission. Okay? It's often been said the truth will set you free. Well, what's not often said is it's really freaking hard at first. The truth can be really hard. But it's not any harder than living day to day, kicking the can down the road, resigned and hopeless. So I want to give you this question that's going to help you look at the truth of the state of your marriage and put you in a position to actually do something about it. And it's simply this. What is my part in maintaining this status quo? What is my part? Where am I not stepping in? And if we were working together or you were on my Tuesday Zoom call, I'd ask you a whole bunch of other questions just to get even further down the road on that sense of empowerment to make change in your marriage. But I want to leave you with that one question. Okay? And if you get some traction on that, you're going to be taking that first step to no longer living in a place where you're saying, I want to fix my marriage, but I do nothing about it. Instead, you'd be saying, I want to fix my marriage, and hell yeah, I want to do something about it. And so this is about taking action versus hiding out. It's another key quality I see in the men that I work with who change their marriages. They take action instead of hiding out. And that goes counter to a key behavior that we're trained as men, is to go it alone in this culture. And it just further shoots us in the foot. So the headline I can leave you with in this video is, get less safe, and do it with the support of others. I'm going to leave you a link below to my Tuesday Men's Relationship Tools call. Check it out. It's a place where you can get that support to take bigger risks in your marriage so that you can actually step in and be like, hell yeah, I want to make change in my marriage. And if you're not a group guy, I'll also leave a link where you can contact me. I hope this was helpful. If you dug this, please like or follow me on this platform. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to the lower right and click that little bell to get weekly notifications when I go live on these. Thanks so much for watching, brother. Have a kick-ass day. Bye.